to meet. The train approached slowly, its headlights glowing like distant lanterns in the dark. The platform seemed to hold its breath as it drew closer. The doors opened with a soft hiss, almost like a quiet invitation. Mira stepped inside, her suitcase sliding behind her. She paused for a second, then turned back toward Ayaan. "Take care, Ayaan," she said softly. Her eyes carried warmth and something unspoken. A moment neither of them wanted to end, yet both understood it had to. Ayaan swallowed, feeling words caught somewhere between his chest and his throat. He managed a nod. "Safe journey," he said, his voice low but steady. The train doors began to close slowly, metal edges brushing past the platform. Mira gave a small smile, just enough to make the memory linger. And then the doors shut completely. The train pulled away, the wheels humming over the rails, carrying her into the dark. The night swallowed the light from the carriages, leaving only the echo of her presence behind. Ayaan remained on the platform. He felt lighter, somehow free of the tension that had been pressing on him, and heavier, carrying the weight of knowing that something meaningful had just passed through his life, leaving a mark without needing to stay. The lights above flickered softly, the hum of the city returning around him. The quiet of the platform felt different now, not emptier, but fuller, in a way that only moments like this can leave. Not every story is meant to stay. Not every meeting is meant to last forever. Some simply pass through and leave you feeling seen. A distant train whistle faded into the night. Ayaan exhaled slowly, leaning against the railing, letting the silence wrap around him like a gentle promise. Some encounters are fleeting. Some connections live on quietly, in memory, in thought, in the pause between one night and the next. The next evening, the city felt different. Streetlights flickered to life, and the platform was quiet, almost eerily familiar. Ayaan walked up slowly, carrying the weight of yesterday's fleeting encounter. Same platform, same time. He didn't expect anything. Not really. The memory of Mira lingered in the empty spaces around him. He wondered if tonight would feel as heavy or as quiet as the night before. And then he saw her. Mira was standing near the edge, framed by the dim glow of the platform lights. No suitcase this time, no rush, just her, calmly waiting. She turned slightly and noticed him. A small smile appeared on her face, warm, unforced, real. "Train was on time today," she said softly, as if acknowledging the invisible bond that had been left between them yesterday. Ayaan walked toward her, the sound of his shoes on the platform echoing softly. "Yeah," he said, smiling. "It is." For a moment, they simply stood there, watching the tracks, listening to the soft hum of the city night around them. The previous night felt like a memory and a lesson wrapped into one. Some goodbyes aren't endings. Some meetings aren't meant to be permanent. Some pauses are just life's way of letting people return to each other. Mira shifted slightly, letting the silence settle comfortably between them. It wasn't awkward. It wasn't forced. It was familiar. It was exactly right. The distant sound of an arriving train faded into the night, but they remained still, both aware that some moments don't need action to be meaningful. Ayaan finally spoke, his voice quiet but steady. "I'm glad you're here." Mira smiled again, a soft, knowing smile. "Me too." The platform no longer felt empty. It felt like a place that held possibilities, a space where goodbyes could pause and beginnings could quietly happen. Some connections don't announce themselves. They don't ask for promises. They just arrive, exactly when you need them. The platform was quieter now. The hum of the city seemed distant, softened by the night. Ayaan and Mira sat together on a wooden bench near the tracks, the suitcase from before long gone, leaving just them and the shared silence. Talking felt easier this time. No hesitations, no small apologies for existing. Words flowed slowly, deliberately, like they were tasting each one before letting it leave their lips. They spoke about fears they never admitted to anyone else, about dreams they had postponed, about choices they were still learning to make, and the weight that came with them. Mira shifted slightly, looking at the tracks. I didn't leave, she said quietly. Not yet. Ayaan nodded, understanding her without needing further explanation. Maybe you weren't supposed to, he replied softly. The lights above flickered on, casting a warm glow across their faces. It was almost magical, the way shadows danced behind them, the way the night seemed to hold its breath around this small moment. They didn't need a train. They didn't need a timetable. All that mattered was the quiet company and the understanding that sometimes presence alone is enough. They laughed softly over small things, jokes that weren't really funny, observations about the platform's quiet charm, or how the late night trains always seem to have their own personalities. Every shared glance, every pause, the platform had grown quiet again, though the city around it hummed softly. Trains came and went, gliding along the rails, with gentle hisses and rhythmic hums. Some stopped, some passed without pause. Sometimes Ayaan and Mira boarded together, sometimes they didn't, but each time, the platform felt a little more theirs, a space suspended between endings and beginnings. They had shared conversations that didn't demand answers, moments that didn't need labels, and silences that spoke louder than words. Ayaan watched Mira step onto a train once more, then turn back with a small, knowing smile. It wasn't a goodbye. It wasn't a promise. It was simply a recognition of shared time and of the quiet comfort of being seen. Even when the trains moved on, the platform remained steady, patient, and unchanging, a place where moments could arrive naturally, where fleeting connections could linger long after the doors closed. The wind whispered through the overhead lights. Leaves from a nearby tree rustled gently like applause from the night itself. Every hum of a passing train reminded them of the rhythm of life, sometimes fast, sometimes slow, always moving forward. Not everything needs a destination. Sometimes the journey itself is enough. Some stories live quietly in the waiting, on the right track, at the right time, exactly when they are meant to. Ayaan and Mira stood side by side, watching the tracks stretch into the darkness. They smiled softly at each other, knowing that some moments don't end, they simply exist in memory, in heart, and in the spaces between nights. The lights above flickered once more, and the music of the city night settled around them. Some connections are fleeting, but their impact can last forever.